हम सबको इनके दिल में रहना है एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिया मिर्ज़ा. हाय, दिस इज अमीना शेख और एज आई वेलकम सबकी दिल की धड़कन दिया मिर्ज़ा ऑन जूम.
थैंक यू सर.
लवली टू हैव यू ऑन जूम एंड आई थिंक सबका दिल धक धक ही कर रहा है जब से आपने इंडस्ट्री में कदम रखा है. हाउ डज इट फील, बिकॉज एवरी वन हैज़ प्रेज्ड यू ओवर द ईयर्स. यू आर द वन वी लुक अप टू. You are the girl next door as well as the glamorous side also we have seen of yours. So over the years, if you have to say about your journey, how does it feel?
I feel like it's been a wonderful journey and an evolution and a discovery of the self more than anything else. मैं बच्ची थी जब इंडस्ट्री में आई थी, 18-19 साल की थी. शुरुआत में तो मुझे ख़ुद को ख़बर नहीं थी कि मैं कौन हूँ, मैं क्या चाहती हूँ. लेकिन फिल्मों के ज़रिए लोगों से मिलना, अपने वजूद से मुलाकात करना एंड जस्ट डिस्कवरिंग वो क्या चीज़ें हैं जिससे मुझे बेइंतहा खुशी मिलती है, वो कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जिससे मुझे बहुत दुख होता है. एंड देन जस्ट काइंड ऑफ डिफाइनिंग माई ओन पाथ एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट इज़ इट दैट आई फील अलाइव डूइंग. मेरे दिल की धक धक किस काम से होती है. सो इट्स बिन एनरिचिंग. ऑफ कोर्स आपने तो सिर्फ प्यार की बात की. मुझे तो बस शुरू में तो बहुत परेशानी भी होती थी क्योंकि लोग कुछ भी बोल देते थे. और तब तो इंडस्ट्री में आज जो सेंसिटिविटी देखी जाती है कई ज़्यादा, मतलब उतनी सेंसिटिविटी ना मीडिया में थी, ना ही जो पब्लिक डिस्कोर्स है उसमें थी. लोग कुछ भी बोल देते थे. रिव्यूज़ तो बाप रे बेधड़क ऐसे होती थी जहाँ पे पर्सनल अटैक्स होते थे, इंसान को बहुत चोट पहुँचाते थे. तो आई वॉज सो यंग. इट टुक मी अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू बिकम द डक हु वुड लेट द वाटर वॉश ऑफ द बैक. बट इट्स एंड आई फील कि वो सब चीज़ें भी है दैट मेड मी रियलाइज़ कि शायद मैं एक रैट रेस के लिए नहीं बनी हूँ. मुझे अपने खुद का एक रास्ता कायम करना होगा. आई हैव टू डू थिंग्स माई वे.
As we talk about that, we have seen you also carving a niche for yourself. और आपने काफ़ी selective roles भी किए हैं. आपने ऐसे नहीं कहा कि चलो ठीक है जो भी ऑफ़र हो रहा है मुझे, I should just be continuing that. How did you decided that? Because as you said, like it was not that easier journey. Sometimes there is this pressure also. There's peer pressure. There's this pressure from the industry. There is this thing, economic pressure, and that recognition as well. So how did you manage to do that?
I had to for my own mental health. I was just, I was suffering and I was unhappy and I was desperate. And I realized जब मैं 2 साल ऐसा एक मोड़ आया जहाँ पे मैं 2 साल तक मुझे कोई काम का ऑफ़र नहीं आया. और उस दौरान मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ों के एहसास होने लगे और मुझे इस बात की अंडरस्टैंडिंग आ गई कि जब तक मैं आई फॉलो the formulaic path and I keep doing what is expected of me and I allow other people to determine my choices, I'm never going to be happy. I have to take my life and my choices into my own hands and I have to operate from a place that is free from fear. क्योंकि चाहे वो patriarchy हो या ageism हो, और ageism भी patriarchy का ही हिस्सा है. ये जो सारी नैरेटिव्स हैं हमारी इंडस्ट्री में बहुत डीपली एंट्रेंच्ड है क्योंकि ज़्यादातर हमारी इंडस्ट्री को मर्द ही चलाते हैं और वही डिटर्मिन करते हैं कि कौन किस में कैसे होता है, किसके ख्याल क्या होने चाहिए. सो आई फाइनली ब्रोक अवे फ्रॉम इट एंड when I connected with myself, I realized that I have to just be true to myself and hone my skill. There is nothing more important than becoming a better artist and learning the craft and keep working on yourself and being connected with reality. So doing things that offer you insight into life, give you experiences that are profound, that are enriching and that add value to who you are. और जब मेरा जो अभी मैं तो कहती हूँ पर्पस या ज़िंदगी का जो मकसद है, जब उस बात का एक अच्छे से गहराई से एहसास हो जाता है तो सब एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स फॉलिंग इनटू प्लेस. फिर वैसे ही काम आपके तरफ आने लगता है. देन दैट ऑफ कोर्स डिटर्मिन्स कि अगला काम वैसा ही उसी जोन में आएगा. सो नाउ आई एम इन अ हैप्पी प्लेस क्योंकि सबको पता है कि अगर इंटेंशनैलिटी नहीं है कहानी में और कहानी कुछ ऐसा बयान नहीं कर रहा जिससे किसी की लाइफ में कुछ परिवर्तन आ सकता है, या कोई चेंज आ सकता है, चेंज ऑफ माइंडसेट या शिफ्ट ऑफ व्यूज़ नहीं आ सकता, मेरे पास आओ ही मत.
ये चेंज ऑफ माइंडसेट भी एक्सपीरियंस के बाद आता है. यू जस्ट डोंट, बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर नाइव, व्हेन यू आर 18 एंड ऑल दैट टाइम, यू फील लाइक द वर्ल्ड इज ऑल गुड एंड ऑल. It takes something which goes away from you, which makes you, it hits you in such a bad way that you feel like, okay, no, I have to see on the other side also. When was that phase where you felt like, there was a time where you felt like, I need to get out of this zone where I'm getting into, or maybe comfort?
I was 26 when I produced my first movie. That's when a very big shift happened, because I understood the dynamics of the industry. I was a part of the process from the written page to delivering the film to the audience. And it taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot.
Talking about दिल की धड़कन तो आप बने हुए हो, धक धक की बात करें तो इट्स अ रोड जर्नी. हाउ मच डू यू पर्सनली एन्जॉय द रोड जर्नीज, एंड इफ यू रिमेंबर अपार्ट फ्रॉम धक धक, इफ यू रिमेंबर एनी ऑफ योर रोड जर्नीज विच यू जस्ट रिकलेक्ट वेन एवर यू आर इन अ डिफरेंट मूड ऑल टुगेदर?
You know, Sabina, I think this is a good chance now to tell you कि धक धक जैसी फिल्म आज तक हिंदुस्तान में ही नहीं, कहीं भी नहीं बनी है. एक ऐसी कहानी जहाँ 4 औरतें who belong to 4 different age groups and come together as strangers and go on a journey on bikes to experience the journey for what it needs to be, and then of course find themselves, has never been done. It's been done with men in different contexts, but it's never been done with women. And तो ये that itself offers so much, because firstly लाइफ में मुझे नहीं लगता है कि मैं 40 साल की उम्र में मैंने कभी सोचा भी होगा कि 40 साल की उम्र में मैं बाइक पे चढ़ूँगी और बाइक चलाना सीखूँगी, वो भी बुलेट 350 cc. रत्ना जी did it at the age of 62. Neither of us had ever imagined that we would ever get offered parts where we would have to do this. And then to live the experience that the film is, that real journey from Delhi to Khardungla. There's something about the Himalayas, Sabina. मुझे बुलाती है वो पहाड़ें, और वहाँ पे जाती हूँ तो कुछ और ही हो जाता है. Whether it was Ganga the Soul of India, a show that I did which was on slow travel from the mouth of the Ganga all the way to sea. It started in the Himalayas. Or Kafir, which was also shot in Himachal, which is the foothills of the Himalayas. To Dhak Dhak, which is finally ended up shooting in Ladakh. It's been extraordinary. Road trips do incredible things for you. It shifts perspectives, gives you so much insight, connects you so deeply with the elements, And I remember हम जब बाइक चला रहे थे लद्दाख में, थोड़ी हल्की हल्की बारिश हो रही थी, फातिमा और मैं दोनों निकल गए थे. शूट चल रहा था, आई थिंक संजना और रत्ना जी का चल रहा था. हम दोनों निकल गए बाइक पे कि थोड़ा घूम के आते हैं, और हमारे साथ साथ प्रोडक्शन के 1-2 लोग थे, क्योंकि वो कभी भी हमको अकेले नहीं छोड़ते थे. तो हम बाइक पे निकल लिए, और तो वादियों के बीच में आप बाइक चला रहे हैं, धीमी धीमी बारिश हो रही है, वो जो एहसास आपको होता है ना, देयर वेरी फ्यू थिंग्स इन लाइफ दैट गिव यू दैट फीलिंग ऑफ that infiniteness, that vastness, and the finiteness that you are, and then within that same moment feeling infinite yourself. Just discovering that every person is limitless.
That's true, and I think that is the experience you have got. But apart from this, I also had a conversation with Fatima, and we had gone for a pani puri chaat and all. And that time she said like she had a very good bonding with you, because जहाँ पे रत्ना मैम के साथ में एक respect वाला bond था, आपके साथ में एक friendship वाला bond था. So if you literally, yeah. So if you have to talk something about that, you have to share that journey. Do you also feel that when it's a movie though, but sometimes when you're going on a journey, it's very important with the energy you're carrying with you, the kind of people basically.
Okay, so I think Fatty and I both say this, right? Ratna ji also says the same thing. We choose stories, of course, for the stories that they are, but we also choose the people we work with. We want to work with good people. We want to work with kind human beings, generous people. And it's because these experiences really shape our lives and our every day, and spending those 47 days with these 3 women was so amazing. Especially the time that I spent with Fatty was very special because पता नहीं क्या वो workshop का पहला ही दिन था. कुछ एक there was a moment and I just connected with her very strongly and I felt very protective towards her.
And I think she gives that vibe. I must say that, to be honest. She gives
I
that.
just wanted to like hold her tight and but she's a fierce woman. She's so dynamic. I mean, I always say this, that I've worked with a lot of professionals whose commitment has inspired me, but I've never worked with an artist who's so committed that she's had a seizure and literally minutes later she's recovered from it, composed herself, and performed some of the most difficult scenes of the film with ease. It speaks so much of her commitment, her dedication, and her passion for her craft.
And that's definitely commendable. And as I talk about this as well, there's one aspect which I have seen over the years, and we now talk openly about it. And today's World Mental Health Day, there is this conversation which takes place about women most of the times, be it at workplaces or in families. There's a certain age, shadi nahi hua, or if she's a single working woman, and if she's not married, if she's a divorcee, or if she's gone through something, it becomes the hot topic. It's a hot debate. Oh, I have to see on that life. Do you also feel that somewhere it has been changing, but still it does exist? And what are your thoughts on that?
We have to stop preying on people's emotions. Yeah. It's just such a unempathetic, unfair activity, and it's a very common human activity that really needs to change. But we need to teach our children to be more empathetic. I think when our children are younger and they speak loosely about somebody or with disrespect or unkindness, we need to teach our children to be more kind and more considerate and not participate in those conversations or have them ourselves in the presence of our children. I mean, I have a teenage daughter at home and a toddler, and we are so mindful of what comments we make about each other or people in our lives or even people we don't know. And we made sure that even if we are being critical or analytical about something, it's done with a sense of respect. You may not like somebody at all, but can you be respectful about your dislike without being unkind or violent or aggressive about it?
How do you keep sane during this phase when
How
you're working?
do you think I keep
Yeah, I really want to know, because there's so much of work around you. There are so many people. There's so much of comparisons which take place in the industry, and it's not like only in which is taking place in Bollywood. It also happens on the media side. We also get compared sometimes. ये वाला anchor ज़्यादा अच्छा कर रहा है, ये वाला नहीं कर रहा है. Okay, let's replace to this. And you don't get time to even think about your emotions so many times. How do you deal in such a situation?
I've been very fortunate that I've never allowed comparisons to shake me, because I think I've always focused more on just chasing or learning to kind of explore the full potential of my being. I'm only interested in how much I can grow, and I'm not so caught up with comparisons. I never have been. I don't think I ever will be.
That's nice to hear. I have to talk to you about your upcoming projects as well. Romantic side of Diya Mirza, हमने देखा भी है, and we have seen over the years. But something like that, on the lines of Rehna hai Tere Dil mein, would we get to see a matured love story or something different which you would like to be a part of?
Most certainly, I really feel that there's a big gap in mature love stories. We just don't tell them. We've actually stopped making love stories. Very few filmmakers make love stories these days. But yeah, I'd love to do maybe a sequel to Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein when Maddie and I are a little older.
Talking about your upcoming projects, what is keeping you busy, and also your OTT debut was very fantastic. So tell me something about that also.
I am just waiting for 13th of October and for Dhak Dhak to release in theatres. That is the only thing in sight in the foreseeable future. I have done some interesting shows for OTT, And I've also signed a few interesting films that I'm looking forward to being a part of. And what's most exciting is that it's with Gen Z. So I get to work with a whole new generation now. And I love bombarding them with questions because उनका लिंगो ही अलग है, उनका लैंग्वेज ही अलग है लाइफ का, वो उनके सोच ही अलग है. तो बहुत मज़ा आता है उनसे बातें करके, बहुत सीखने को मिलता है.
That's nice. Now you're learning something from them, from your daughter, from your toddler. You know, if they're talking.
That though is an ongoing learning process. My little son is my master. तो गुरुजी वो मुझे रोज कुछ सिखाता है. And our daughters also. It's just so interesting and wonderful to live with young people and watch them grow and help them a little bit along the way. I think a lot of the choices are and should be their own, but just to be able to facilitate a sense of direction is just so wonderful.
That's nice to you, and thank you so much for your lovely time and all the very best. Diya, looking forward to see more of your work.
Hi, this is Diya Mirza, and you're watching my exclusive interview on Zoom.